Happy Monday, guys. Welcome back to Art Throwdown. I missed you guys. Hello, hello. Everybody's coming in, so I will let people start filtering in before I start. I've got a bunch of announcements to make actually, so I've got them all here on a post-it. So I will hang for a bit. Hey Nan. Hey Ashley. Hey guys. Hey Russ. Hello to everyone. Happy Monday. And thank you. We are celebrating my birthday the entire month of June. So it's like a one long extended birthday party. It's going to be great. Hey Jim.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Excellent. Happy Monday.
Happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you. Well, I was just telling the gang, we are celebrating my birthday for like the entire month of June. So it's like actually like a month long celebration.
I don't see any problem with that.
That's my
Absolutely.
plan anyway. Yes. So I have a buttload, and it's a wine term, by the way, a buttload of announcements
I
to
was going to say
make.
that was a technical term, I thought.
Yes, that's a technical wine term. Tons of announcements to make this evening. So yeah, we got about 8 people in here. So for anybody watching in the future, well, you're just going to have to catch up. And by the way, a couple of folks are watching this. Hey, Jennifer. A couple of folks are watching this on the YouTube channel. So special shout out to Trisha. I know that this conflicts with some of her family time. They have other activities that they do together. And so I know she watches a lot of these now that they are up on YouTube. So Trisha, we are so glad to have you here with you, even if it's in the future. And
It
Love and
still
Stamps.
counts.
Yes, that's right. Every little bit counts. And then I know Love and Stamps is taking a social media break for a couple of months. So I will mention, she knows that we have our channel up on YouTube. So if you are watching us out there, we are thinking of you. So real quick, Love and Stamps actually has a project that she talked about before. It was an explosion card. And I'm actually going to just reach over here and show you guys what it looks like. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, or you may remember it from before, she sent me this, which I thought was super cool. And then you can flip it around, and you can also put your little paper designs on it like this. So because June is taking a social media break for a couple of months, she has offered, and she's going to disable her account, I think, by Wednesday. So between now and say between today and tomorrow, if anybody is looking for the instructions on how to make this explosion card, send her a DM. That's love_in_stamps. So she can hook you up with one of the paper patterns that she put together and some instructions on how to make this bad boy. So that's number one. Russ, I'm going to give you a shout out. I think that's super cool. Russ is doing something called The Studio on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, which I think is awesome because more people from more time zones will probably be able to join, especially those that are overseas. So if anybody out here wants special instructions, on craft projects from Ross, you want to ask him questions, get in there 2 p.m. Eastern on Sundays in the studio, and you can actually see the inside of his studio as well, which is pretty cool. Oh, yes. And Jennifer, we are getting requests. Yes, yes. We are getting requests to show, once again, that bindless cutout shapes hot dog roll book. So unlike the jelly roll, this is the hot dog roll. I'm just going to call it the hot dog roll book because, you roll it like a hot dog. So we'll have to talk about that offline, but folks really want to see that. So throwing it out into the universe in case you are so obliged. We'd love to see it again at some point in the future. Finally, many of you know that my Dunkin' Donuts postcards have gone out. The very last one, which I am holding in my hand, was actually just claimed by Jim. So Jim is the lucky recipient who will be getting this. And in the batch of postcards, this is my final thing, and then I will hush. The batch of postcards that I sent out today, there is one outlier. So you guys saw the picture. One of those postcards is a smelly postcard. It literally smells. So I'm not going to tell you guys who's getting it. All you could see were the fronts of them. So I guess we'll find out maybe towards the end of this week or early next week who got it. So there's a smelly postcard that is infiltrating our mail system right now. And I mean, it's not terrible, but it does smell a bit different than the other postcards. So if you got the smelly postcard, you'll know who you are when you receive it. So
it's like those jelly beans in Harry Potter, that.
kind of, yes.
So I'm
Bean
intrigued.
Boozled. Bean Boozled is the name of that jelly bean game, by the way, where like you have two reds and one might be cherry and the other one might be like toothpaste flavored.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I gotta mix it up. I gotta keep it interesting out here. So that is and Patty joined. Hey Patty. So that's yeah. Those are I think those are all of the. Oh wait, nope. I've got one more. I'm like, but wait, there's more. I did not know these existed. And so thank you very much to Mr. Jim. We got these really cool color and peel Trader Joe's stickers. Yay! I didn't know these were a thing. They're so cool. So Jim,
I don't think
special
any
thank
of
you.
us did that got those. I've never seen them before.
Look at
So
this ube ice cream, and they're backwards, but you can see I've got mixed nut butter and some flour gummies. This is so cool. So yay! All right, so I'm gonna take a breath. What are you working on?
a couple of things. First of all, just the studio event on Sundays. Um, I am going to take your position and be facing the camera during those. That's what is going to make that different than what we
Ooh,
do on Art Throwdown.
cool.
So I'm actually going to be facing the camera like you do,
Okay.
and answering questions. And it could be about anything about crafting. It could be about techniques. It could be about products. It could be, stamps, postcards. So any and all the above. So that's what the Sundays are going to be about. And so
I like it.
one-on-one time for those of you who want to ask specific questions. We had some questions, and this only happened by chance, actually. Phil and I had to give a shout out to Phil. Phil and I were talking on Sunday, and we had gone live, and he had to be taken away to do some other things. And he goes, as just an afterthought, he said, "Why don't you just stay on and go live and see what happens?" Very
Nice.
similar to what you did to start this series.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to go live and see what happens. And people popped up and seemed to be interested, and so
Cool.
yeah, so it's gonna be. We'll see how it goes, and see if the time frame is amenable
Yeah.
to everyone, and go from there. So
And I will definitely try to tune in as well so that for once I can watch you and ask you the questions and write my little comments in. So,
yeah, absolutely. And everyone,
yes.
regardless, if it's just like this show, if you just want to sit and listen, what's going on, you can do that. If you want to participate, you can craft along, you can do whatever.
Cool.
So yeah, so I am. I want to say besmirched, but that's not the word I'm looking for. I am in a kerfluffle. How about that? Nice
Really?
Jewish word. Yeah.
Are
Is
you, and is the English translation kerfuffle? Because I've heard it pronounced kerfuffle.
What did I say?
Kerfluffle?
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 Yeah. You said it right.
I don't,
Yeah.
I'm not sure because maybe it actually is kerfluffle in Yiddish. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but we all know what it is. So it's whatever that word is, whatever that K word is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I was supposed to clean off my desk and I didn't. So I'm behind, and theoretically I can't start another project because my OCD is just
You're like, I
barreling
gotta
out of
have a clean
control.
desk. So
Yeah.
is your project to clean your desk? Because that's totally
Well,
valid.
it may be, but the other thing is I just want to share with people what goes through my mind when I go shopping.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, and how inspiration just pops up out of nowhere. So I was at the CVS store, which is a local drugstore, and I came across this little tin. Okay.
Happiness inside. Okay.
Okay. And first of all, everyone knows that I love tins and boxes and those kind of things. So I knew that once whatever this was going to be finished, that I would keep it. So you open it up and there are these little cards. And it says, pull here. And then when you pull, you get whatever message is on the side.
Oh,
This one is,
whoa.
you are magic.
Awesome.
So, and I think that's kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going, well, how can I turn that into a postcard? How can I have an interactive postcard that you can peel back whatever message is going to be hidden on the inside that no one can see?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm working on tonight. So that's what I'm trying to figure out the mechanics of how I can do that. First of all, hello, Nick. Welcome.
Hello.
So yeah, so that's what, and it's got holograph like you like.
That's the first thing that caught my eye as soon as you did the little pull tab on that.
And I felt so guilty about stealing their idea that I bought this one, and then I bought the other one. And yeah, so that's how it works. That's how my mind, and then it was like going down the rabbit hole. So let me show you what else I bought.
So Russ went on a shopping spree today, clearly. How exciting.
And then while I was there, I saw this, which is a birthday card.
That's a
But
big
it's a
birthday
pop-up
card. What
And I'm
size is
like,
that card?
this was $10.
No, I'm sorry. What dimension is it?
Oh, it's huge.
I was going to say
But
that looks like an oversized card.
yeah, but it also has light and sound, and it plays happy.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah. But the thing is, like, I'm like, I can do this. Jennifer could do this. She can show us how to do this.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
I'm going to tear it apart so I can recreate it. So
You are reverse
and then
engineering that. That is super cool.
I found these, and I'm like, we can make chargers with these because these are napkins. So how cute would that be to have a little Hello Kitty glass plates? Remember how we talked about plaid and doing the napkins on the back of
Yes.
the plate?
Yes. So are you going to
So
commit to the 28-day cure time of that product?
no,
No.
no, because I'm going to do it on the back, which means that it's going to be on the other underside. So anything I put on it is not going to touch the product or touch the paper.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going to be like decorative, and I'll probably use plastic rather than glass chargers, so that I don't, if I want, I can just throw them away.
So chargers are like little dessert plates. What are chargers?
No, chargers are the big ones that they used.
Okay,
In the demo.
the big glass,
Right.
clear
Right.
glass.
Well, a charger is anything that goes on top of another plate in a place setting.
Ah.
So you know how you have the dinner plate?
Yep.
And then the charger's whatever goes underneath it.
Under it. Okay.
So it's not designed to be used. It's only designed for decorative purposes.
Got it.
So that's what they call a charger.
I never knew the term for that. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Charger.
So that's how my mind goes. And of course, it's $60 later.
Well, my project, my $2.99 grab bag from Savers, I kind of did the same thing. I went down a rabbit hole and I'm like, I have a circle punch. And I'm like, we have a crafting circle of pals here. I'm going to make a circle themed postcard, I think, tonight. So, I guess in a similar vein, I cut out a bunch of circles, like tons of different colored circles of paper. And I'm going to make overlapping circle collage tonight to think about just, I don't know, circles. I was on a research binge on circles, apparently. So
see, because this is very interesting because you are previewing Friday's postcard challenge.
No way.
Without even knowing it.
No way.
Yep.
I guessed it? Yes.
You did.
Haha. That's awesome. This was not planned, by the way, folks. This was not planned.
This was totally serendipitous.
Completely.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the other thing I'm working on is I have like 200 of these things. These are the interiors that I cut out for my holiday cards, and I've been collecting them for like 3 years because I'm just can't throw them away because I've got to figure out what I can use them for. So yeah, so that's why in the K word, whatever the K word is.
Kerfuffle. I think the word is kerfuffle. Not 100% sure.
So
Question to the folks out there: can you guys hear me okay? And is Russ slightly muted in his volume, or is it me? It might be me.
answer us, doggone it.
Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just me because like this earbud keeps falling out. Quandary. That's another good word. That's the quandary. Okay, all's normal. Okay, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
user error over here.
yeah, no, for me, is just my camera's a little bit higher because I didn't change it from my taping this afternoon. So I thought maybe my microphone was a little bit higher. So it seems like we're getting the thumbs up from
We're
everybody.
good. Okay, it's just
Okay,
me then.
cool.
All right. It means I need to be a better listener.
No, either that or turn up the volume.
I think I will. I shall. Okay.
But the other thing I want to share too, totally unrelated to anything, is you know how when you clean up and you find things that you've forgotten that you had?
Mm-hmm.
You know, does that happen to anybody other than me?
Yes.
Okay. So my friend Herman, who is a stamp aficionado in Spain, sent me the coolest postage stamps from Spain. These are actually
What?
postage stamps.
What?
And these are lenticular postage stamps of the Star Wars characters.
Okay, how does Spain get cooler stamps than we have? So the two lenticulars that I'm aware of, one was a couple of the two in that dinosaur sheet, and then
Correct.
what was it? Believe in magic or feel the
Correct.
magic?
The special lenticular bunny in that rat in the hat.
Yeah, so there was
Yeah,
a magic stamp as well, which I think you can you still get that one on stamps.com?
you can, but you have to go into the collectors section rather than just the regular section.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
But those, I mean, that beats the
yeah.
heck out of all of those stamps combined. Like,
Well,
seriously, Spain, like, can you teach the US to make cool stamps?
well,
Because
but the
we
other
need
thing is
those.
that as many of you who have been following know that I send out a lot of Star Wars postcards because it's one of the most common requests that I get. And how cool is it going to be to put one of these on it? The only thing I don't like is it's fairly thick, so it's not going to lie flat on the postcard like a regular postage stamp will.
Right.
But I got to figure that out. So I had to put it in a place where it's not going to get snagged in the scanner or the
And you
sorting machine.
and you can't really Mod Podge that because it might
No,
take away from like the lenticular stamp. So,
yeah. But these are really cool. And then the other one that he sent me, which is cool too, is this Han Solo uh, Millennium Falcon. I think this is.
oh
Is that
my
what this is? I forget the name
God.
of it.
I need to move to Spain like permanently so I can get those. Those are cool. Oh my
But
goodness.
once again, if I hadn't started cleaning up my space, I would have forgotten I had them.
So Patty has a request. She wants you to travel to Spain so that you can send her one of those Star Wars stamps and get it canceled. And he's lagging, I think.
You're
Or is it me? Am I lagging?
picking up a little bit, pixelating. Or are you pixelating?
Am I pixelating or are you pixelating? I'm not sure. Oh no, it's spinning. Like the circle-y thing is spinning on his feed. Are you back?
No, I'm still here. So
Can you hear me?
uh,
Hmm. Now the sound is cutting out on Russ.
I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. You had the little, the wheel thing that spins and it's like he'll be right back. So, all right. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe it's because your camera's in a different position? Yeah, Ashley says it's Russ that's breaking up. Doggone it. We'll give him a minute here. Oh, he left. So yeah, he was very pixely, and then the little wheel was spinning. So maybe he'll be back in, and if not, he'll probably be back. You guys get to see me make something out of all of these circles. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like a giant caterpillar. Haha. So, all right. Well, in the meantime, I will show you guys what I'm doing. I've got now this was one leftover piece of cardstock that I was using from my Dunkin' Donuts postcard. So it is different colors. It's yellow on one side and it's orange on the other. And I was going to, in honor of Russ, I was going to start to layer my circles on this orange side and then use the yellow side again for writing. Add me again, he says. All right, let me go back up to the top and see Russ. Okay, here it is. Whoops, go live with Russ. Add. I'm waiting for Russ Romano. Let's see if this works. Connecting. Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you as well.
Okay.
So it's just sometimes I get a bad signal back here depending upon who's working because I'm actually in the studio. So
Yeah.
So here we go.
All right. All right. So when we left off, Patty said that you have to move to Spain so that you can mail her one of those stamps, the Star Wars stamps. So.
Well, I have a couple of extras for people who are really, really nice and follow both of us. And so maybe we can add these as a prize for bingo.
Oh,
How about we do that?
Oh, wow. And then actually Patty gave me an idea. So Patty got a bingo postcard in the mail and she thought it was from Art Throwdown. She was like, oh my God, my ATD bingo card is here. So we haven't sent any out, but it was actually from a realtor. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. So the idea that I had was, and yeah, Zoe, bingo just got real. What we could do is randomize those cards and then paste the bingo card to the front of a postcard. Keep it blank or keep it pretty plain, and then that way when folks get it, they can decorate it themselves. So that was my idea.
That's a cool idea. I like that. And maybe we can do a larger postcard, like a 5x7 or maybe a 6x8 even.
Yes.
So give people the maximum amount of space to decorate.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And then if they're using actual chips, they can
Right.
put the chips on the card.
Exactly.
Amanda's Mail joined. Hello, good
Hello,
evening.
welcome. So another thing, we have all kinds of announcements tonight, don't we?
Oh, well, we got a lot of catching up to do here, guys.
We do. So another thing that came out of Sunday's studio session is, I think it was Carrie, maybe, but someone recommended that we do a questionnaire and fill out a questionnaire about ourselves so that we can all know about each other, like birthdays and favorite colors and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So, so we're still interested in finding out who would do the coordinating on that and what exactly would be entailed. It would be totally voluntary. But for example, I was rather bummed because I had either forgotten or hadn't paid attention and missed your birthday. Because I normally
didn't announce it though, Russ. I really didn't announce it.
But somebody knew because Carrie told me on Sunday during the studio that it was your birthday.
I was trying to fly like under the radar and just kind of celebrate it slowly over the course of the month,
Well, but now that we know that you're celebrating for the entire month, which is fine because I do that in the whole month of August. I take the whole month to celebrate my birthday.
Good.
Because you know what? I can. I'm a grown-up. I'm a full-grown man.
Darn right. You can do whatever you want. You're like, whatever. I do what I want. And
yeah.
You do.
So that's how that came out. So if you want to participate, if that is something that you're interested in, let us know, and we will make sure that we get that to whoever is going to coordinate that. But I think it'd be a cool idea just to get to know a little bit about each other. Look at all these happy birthday wishes coming through.
Ah, geez,
no hiding
guys.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, like the whole month of June is it is the time of the Gemini, and it is I'm a June baby. So Yeah, thank you guys. We're going to be celebrating all month long. And then once July hits, you guys will be happy that my I'll stop talking about my birthday finally. So
Well, how was the lobster?
it was very good, and we got 20 pounds of claws and tails. And my mother-in-law has a very special technique the way she makes it. So she will deep fry it first, and then she stir fries it, and it's phenomenal. And she completely spoiled me, so I cannot have just a regular lobster roll. Like I only want the kind that she makes because it's just so good. So.
My
Martin Koch just
my
joined.
my friend Morella, that's who that
Oh,
is.
Morella, hi.
Joined. She was there on for the studio session as well. So hi
Oh,
Morella, glad you're
whoa.
here. I fawned on her all day Sunday, so I'm not going to embarrass her again. But
Awesome.
she's one of the good ones. I'll leave it at that.
And
So,
Rockabilly, just for the record, my birthday is the entire month of June. It's not just like one day. So it's really the whole month of June. It's on my birth
but
certificate.
no, that's not right. You celebrate the whole month, but your birthday was actually yesterday, the same day
No,
that who
no,
was
it was
born.
my whole birth certificate just says the month of June. That's it just
But
is.
who shares the birthday with you?
Only one of the best artists of all time.
Absolutely.
Eh,
Artist formerly known as
Prince.
Prince. Allison and Prince are born on the same
I'm
day.
like, and they were both Geminis. I'm like, we're both wild. We're artists. Yes, yes. Anyway, I don't own a raspberry beret though. Sorry, guys.
But you want something purple. So let's all send her purple
I
postcards.
have to tell you guys
Huh?
a really quick story. Okay, speaking of raspberry berets. So I don't know why, but I had the most vivid dream, and it was like one of those weird lucid dreaming things, like right before you wake up. So it wasn't like I had the dream and I was just passively floating along, just watching everything in sequence as it happened. But as I was just about to wake up, I was in a Target in my dream, and the lady who worked there came down the aisle, and I was like, "What's up with your craft supply aisle? There's nothing here. It's empty." Okay, so in real life, for the past 2 months, our Target, it's just been bare. The shelves are bare on the craft aisle. And in my dream, this woman came up to me and she had two massive trays of supplies. And she goes, "Don't worry, honey, we've got more folk art paint right here." And I went, "Oh, good." And I walk up to it, and there's this big bottle of magenta colored folk art paint. And I looked at it. In my dream, I went, "Oh my God, this is only $1." And I was screaming at myself inside my dream, "Pick it up, pick it up." So like in my dream, I picked up the paint, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is only $1 and there's only one. I have to get this." And then I woke up. It was the weirdest, but it felt so real. I'm like, and I woke up, I'm like, "Oh, good. Now I have that magenta colored paint." And I'm like, "Oh, wait, no, I don't. That was a dream." Anyway, yeah. So raspberry beret, magenta. I don't know. Magenta is my favorite color. What can I say? True
Okay.
story.
So since I am out of sour ball candies,
What are you going to
I
do,
have
man?
replaced them with Jolly Ranchers.
It's not a
I,
bad trade. It's not a
no,
bad
it's not.
trade.
And this is my favorite of all of them is the green ones.
Now, see, I like the watermelon and the grape, but the only thing with those is when I eat them, I crunch down on them, and then they melt into my molars, and then I get like a temporary lockjaw, and I can't move my mouth. So that's why I don't eat them.
No, I learned my lesson that way. I don't do that.
Like, do not clench your jaw.
So what I am demonstrating today is you could never have too many paper cutters.
Ooh, that is a lot of
So
cutters.
it is. And these are just the Carl brands. I have the Fiskars in the other room, the one that you use.
Well, geez,
So
that's a lot.
I know, overkill, but it makes sense because for this one, I keep a straight blade in. And for this one, I use the perforated blade. So I don't have to continue to swap them out. And so it's just, granted, it's a little bit lazy, but it's just really convenient not to have to swap out the blades depending upon what you want to use.
So that
So I
blade
always have
makes
one.
its own perforations?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to demonstrate in just a second.
Ooh. Okay, so first off, I didn't know that that existed, that that was actually a thing. I thought they just cut straight.
No. That's how I'm going to make my tearaway card. So what I'm hoping to
Ah,
do is use the perforation blade. You see? And then just do 2 rows of perforations and then put that away. And then the person, I'm hoping, will just be able to tear it off to reveal what's in the card.
nice.
So I just have to work out the logistics of that. Crafting Lisa 66 has joined.
Hey,
Welcome.
Lisa. Good evening. Happy Monday to you.
So the idea is that
Yeah, and Patty's requesting, can you show the perforation up close to the camera so we can
yep.
see? Nice.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those in action. That is cool.
And then you just
And it's a pretty clean tear, too. That's
it is.
impressive.
It is. And I don't know if the Fiskars, I know this works well on rotary cutters.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Fiskars isn't a rotary cutter, I don't know if they have a perforation blade for the Fiskars that we use. So that's what I have to research as well. So that is what I'm working logistics out, how to turn that technology into that.
Right.
So because if you noticed here, this is a perforated area, but the perforations are much larger. This is like a stamp perforation, right?
Yeah.
And this is much larger, so it's easier to tear as opposed to separate like you would do, like I did here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but those are the logistics that I have to work out.
Patty says she wants to make her own address stamps. Do the rotary cutters do anything similar to a stamp's perforation?
Yes, that's what this is. This is the closest you're going to
Ah,
get to a stamp perforation.
okay. And do you happen to know, like, is there a special dimension for that one?
No, it's just one size blade.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So it will only produce this perforation.
That type of perforation. Got it. Okay.
Right. And this brand is called Carl. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if you can. That's the brand of the cutter.
It's
Um,
Carl. Carl. Okay.
Right. Now, the interesting thing is that you may be able to do, I know in the quilting and in the fabric, the sewing sections, you can get a handheld rotary cutter that may do that, give you a perforation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there is another brand that has them as well. And let me go to the tunnel. I'll be back.
He's going into the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen.
So this is the other brand. This is the We Are Memory Makers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I know those guys.
And they have a special cutting mat that's a magnetic cutting mat. And it comes with all of these different rotary cutters.
Oh, wow. And I like how they color coded those so you can kind of keep track of them.
So you have a decal edge. Well, let me just do it this way so you can read. So you have a straight edge, and then you have a scoring, a perforating, a scallop, a pinking. I can't see what that one is. And a decal. and a wave. So this is the other brand that you can get.
So
So
just Patty, that brand there is We Are Memory Makers. The brand
that's
that he,
correct.
yeah, the original brand that he showed was called Carl, Carl.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is I have this set, but I can't find the ruler that these connect to. So if I find it, I will demo this for you as well.
Sweet. And I did not intend for this, but these are kind of starting to look like little fish scales on here. So this is going to be a nice little experiment.
Oh, let's see. So Patty, you do you know that there is a company that will sell you perforated stamp blanks in sheet form that you can print directly onto them, and the perforations are already there for you.
Really?
Yeah. Is that something that people are interested in? Do you want me to go get it?
Are they self-adhesive? Like how does or do
They
you
are.
you
They're
lick them like a
self-adhesive on
stamp?
the back and you print on the front.
Okay. So you don't lick them like a stamp.
You do.
Oh,
You
you
do.
do. Oh,
Yeah. So let me go get those. I'll be back in a second.
cool. And so I just started with this. I think this is actually a blue potato right here. So yeah, I am going to just start layering on and around these. Patty's asking, is it the Etsy shop that sells the printed ones? That is a Russell question.
So this is the brand. It's the Lick and Stick, and this is put out by the Portland Stamp Company. And you can either have them design it for you, or you can design it and have them print it for you, or you can do it all yourself. So these are blanks with the pinhole perforations. So I don't know if that's the Etsy store that you're referring to, but I do know that they have a presence on Instagram. So this may be another option for you. So that's just something to keep in mind. What I will say is that if you do go this route, print out on plain paper a whole bunch of times so that you are definitely sure that it's going to print correctly in your printer. And you can use this for laser printers, silkscreen, typewriters, rubber stamps, anything. Once again, it is the Portland Stamp Company.
Those are cool. Yeah, I've never seen anything like those.
So, Patty, did you get the name, or do you need me to type it for you? She's probably on the computer right now searching for it.
I can hear her typing. Like, we can hear you searching for the product.
And then the other thing I wanted to share with you is, I don't know about other people, but I always have calendars that or planners or day books or whatever you want to call that either go partially used or don't go used, or that are gifts that aren't in the style that I like. So this was one that someone gave me, and it's an expensive one. This is a daytimer to a day spread, and there are a couple of things that you can do. This is 2018. One of the things that you can do is just simply scratch out the date and the year and use it for current purposes, which is which I don't mind. Some people wouldn't be able to do that, but I don't have any problem doing that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them into art pages. So and what I plan on doing Jennifer saying old paper source calendars. What I'm planning on doing in these is turning them into like a daily art doodle or art journal. And because there's so much open space and because it's already gridded for you, you can do in all kinds of neat things. And so what I'm going to be doing with these pages is I am going to, on this side, letter in some of the what's the not the highlights, the front page headlines is the word I'm looking for. Some of the headlines of the day. And then way I can keep a track of things that are going on in the world or in New York or wherever I want. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to be working on for the rest of tonight is decorating some of these pages. You can do doodles, you can do whatever it is, you can do stickers. And so there are any number of things. And I like the way that they're already sectioned off. So you can do one spread here, one spread here. You can do a smaller spread down here, one down here. You can use this for all headlines if you want. And primarily, I'm going to be using it to practice my hand lettering. So I guess what I'm trying to say is just look outside the box.
You know, and it's funny you mentioned that, Russ, because I was in. I had to go one state north up to New Hampshire to go to Savers, but darn it, I went this weekend, and I was in the office supplies aisle, and they had. For like no joke, for 99 cents, they had a brand new calendar. It was one of those 365-day, like a desk calendar in the box, never opened, 99 cents. And it was one of those, learn a word a day. And it had like the Webster's dictionary, the word in bold, and then beneath it, it had the definition. And I came this close to buying it, but then I'm like, you don't need any more of those. And so I ultimately didn't buy it. But that was another one of those, there are so many other uses for some of this stuff, because I was like, oh, I could make postcards out of these, and
But you know what you do with that though is, and I'm a big proponent of those, especially when they're on special like that, because a lot of the stores will be selling those things way below market value because they just want to move them and get them out of stock, especially since you're 6 months in the year already.
Yep.
Is those are good for paper paraphernalia and for like especially swap bot.
Yeah, or like card making or postcards.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I have sent so many people Sudoku pages from prior year's calendars. But yeah. So once again, same things. Thinking outside the box of how can I use this.
Yeah, it's like an alternate use for some paper paraphernalia. Absolutely.
Ashley says she has Savers and Envy.
When I was there this weekend, they were just about to close, so I didn't get there until much later in the afternoon, but they close at like 7 in ours. But as I was walking down the aisle of Savers, and the music they had like, their usual tinny music playing in the background, and I was like pushing my cart, and I thought for a split second, if I had more time, I was going to go live in the Savers and be like, look at all this cool junk. And I was going to do that, but then I thought better of it because they were about to close, and they were going around being like, you have 15 minutes, please take your purchases up front, blah, blah, blah. So next time, you guys can jam out with me when I'm in Savers.
Is that something that American stores will allow you to do? Do you know?
I've never had a problem. And
okay.
I mean,
because I was at a Dwayne Reed one time, and they did not want me taking live video of.
Seriously, I feel like Savers is probably more relaxed about that kind of thing.
Well, it may be the two different ways we look too. So
I don't know. I'll let you like. I have been in places like open air markets, like in Chinatown here in Boston, and I've had people yell at me for trying to take just still shots of things. Like one lady had these tiny painted turtles in like little water, like little small aquariums, like little plastic water aquariums. And I took my phone out, and this is several years back, but I took my phone out and I was about to go take a picture of it, and she started screaming at me like, stop doing that. And I'm like, what? It's a pretty turtle. I was going to take a picture of it. She's like, no photos, no photography. And I was like, Sorry.
I think that may be an Asian thing, a Far East thing, because in the
Maybe.
Far East, every store, every place that I've been does not allow photos.
Yeah, she was pissed that I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
sorry, didn't know.
So that may be a cultural thing.
So I very quickly mea culpa'd and like, you know, scurried away. True story.
So Ashley, how's your Mexican food? I've been meaning to ask you all day.
And Ashley, yes, I will do that next time. And if anybody does say something to me, then I'll know. No videos and savers.
Oh, Nan makes a great point. She says people take photos and then mass produce stuff. So
Yeah, I can see how that might be the case. But on the other hand, it being savers, I'm like, I'm not sure there's much there to reverse engineer. It's just,
well,
it's just,
yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's just junk. It's good junk, but it's
Well, it's
just,
junk that you obviously want.
yeah, obviously. Obviously. Look at this. Look at
Obviously.
this. Look at this. Look how awesome this is. It's my little hole puncher. Yeah, this was a good value. It was not bad. Oh, wait, look. You can see me taking a picture of myself. Whoa. Look how meta that is. Whoa. Anyway.
I have so much mail to send out tomorrow.
I did a whole hunk of mail over the weekend, and then the last 3 pieces of it are going out tomorrow from the weekend.
Now,
So
when you mail out, do you mail out from home or do you actually go to your P.O. box to mail things?
I go to the PO box because I'm weird like that, and I have to make sure like it got there before the 5 o'clock cutoff and blah blah blah. So I am very particular about where I mail and what mailbox I put it in. Like there's the 2 that are sitting at the very end of the driveway, the semicircular driveway at our post office. I don't use those. I physically have to take my mail, walk inside the post office, and then mail it in the little, mail slot.
I would love to know if anybody else has strange mail rituals, because I definitely do. And I'm not necessarily proud of them, but I do. I'm going to be just straight out. I'm very similar to you in that I have favorite mail slots to use.
Not to be
I have
confused with
favorite.
Nikki. By the way, Mail Slot changed her username. It's now like Nikki's Postcards or something like that, because people kept confusing the name for something else.
Harper's here. Welcome, Harper.
Hello.
But my thing is, I have to put every single piece through the mail slot by itself.
Ooh, I haven't done that. I usually just take a stack and I go, wah.
Yeah, and the rationale there is, it's not just me being Russ. The rationale being that because I use glue on to put things down, I don't want them sticking to each other. So I separate them and put them in individually so that I know that when I put it in, they didn't stick.
I won't lie, that thought crossed my mind earlier today when I put my stack in. I'm like, will the Mod Podge adhere to the other Mod Podges? And I'm like, it's fine. So I shoved them all in, but now you're making me think twice about that. I guess we'll find out. If anybody didn't get their postcard, so I think there were 8 Duncan's postcards in total that have gone out, and Jim got the last one. So if anybody that asked me for a Duncan through DM does not get their postcard in like a week, let me know.
It means she doesn't love you and she didn't send it to you. That's what it means.
Here's a progress pic real quick of my card. And then once these are all on here, I'm going to just cut right along the edges. And then I'm going to slap some Mod Podge on this. This is a very dense postcard. All these little, you wouldn't think so, but these little pieces of paper make it heavy.
You know what would have been fun too is if you had used not just circles, but crescents. So if you had taken your circle stamp and then stamped one of your circles like in half, that's fun too.
Yeah, I probably could have done that. Well, that's
Tonight's theme: thinking outside the box.
no, I know, and that's another. Yep, that is another. Another
Let's save that
circle.
idea for Thursday, for Friday.
I know. I mean, I could look at all the circles. You guys can't see, but look at all the circles I have here. I could probably make a few of these things now, and it's not a bad use for leftover paper either, especially if you have smaller scraps. Smaller
Raspberry
scraps. Just
tissue.
saying.
We got 10 minutes left.
No way.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it. I'm like, I don't get how this happens every night. I don't get it. But it does.
How do I have so much crap on my table?
Um,
Don't answer that. It's a rhetorical question.
I was like, self. I don't
Someone's going to say because you're
think,
full of it. That's
I
why.
don't think that question was meant to be answered. Do we have anybody here from Alabama? Just because there's a tiny piece of an Alabama map on this one. Good Lord, I think that's it. Okay, that is a lot of circles. Many circles. Hey, what's that orange, red, yellow, mustard, green thing there, Russ? Is that another project?
No, see, this is the thing. Jen is eating vanilla ice cream and raspberries.
Oh my gosh. And I bet, are they fresh raspberries, like in season raspberries?
So this was the color sample that I did of the watercolor concentrates, so I could see how they would go on the paper that I used. And because, of course, I can't throw anything away, so I kept it, and then I punched little flowers out of it, and so I had different colored flowers to use on a different project.
Pretty. I like that.
Yeah. Jennifer says yes. I mean, yes. They are fresh raspberries.
That sounds amazing. And it is the season for raspberry eating. So
It's the season for all those fruits, those berries.
yes. And in fact, I think it must have been late June or early July of last year. I had just gotten into, like, I went on my research binge on canning, and that was a whole another thing. But at one point I tried to make raspberry jam, and for some reason, I don't know if my proportions were off on it, but it ended up making a raspberry sauce, which turned out phenomenal. Like, you could smother it over ice cream. You could put it over like a shortcake. It was the best thing I've ever made, like with fruit. So it was a happy accident. Really happy accident. Jennifer, you're bringing me back to my raspberry phase from last summer.
Okay. But one of the things I did want to share, Ashley is researching the ins and outs of creating printable downloads by scanning some of her antique postcards and other ephemera. Anyone else have experience? I'm not a good scanner for some reason.
I'm gonna think Phil might know, because Phil does a lot of that with archiving with his postcard society.
And Nan says she scans stuff all the time, so maybe the two of you could connect as well.
Yeah. The only thing I scan, I will tell you, for scanning postcards, and obviously these are not vintage, these are just my little homemade hokey things, but I use 300 DPS when I do scans for these, which I did a little bit of Googling on, what the ideal DPS was for postcard scanning. And at least for these collages, it was 300. Now for an antique one, that I don't know.
So one of the things I did want to share, and this is what I call my Bible, and this is just an idea book. So when I do the final dimensions of a card and develop a card, I put all of that in here, so I always have it. But I also have, this is also an idea book. So I saw this particular card and why I liked it, and then I cut it out rather than have to keep the whole magazine. I can just cut out the parts that I want to remember and to keep.
Cool.
So
And it cuts down on paper clutter too. I like that.
It does. It does. Oh, Jim says we have a 4-minute warning.
Thank you, sir.
But I do one of these for every project that I'm working on. So, for example, because I have my own binder, spiral binder. So I do one of these idea books for every DreamWorks project that I work on. And so I just find it very, very useful to have all that information in one place. Like here are all my ink pads, so I can see what they look like together and against each other. So, so it's things that I want to buy. For example, these are brass stencils that I want to get. So just things for you to think about. That's all.
And props to you, Russ, for consistently keeping like a journal. I struggle with that. Like I'm the type, I'll do a page or two and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to do something else now, shiny object, and then I scurry away. So it is very hard for me to being a Gemini. It is very hard for me to be consistent sometimes, other than with these postcards here, with some of my crafting endeavors, let's just say.
Well, so we have about 2 minutes left. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Every night, this hour gets shorter and shorter, and I don't know why. Here's my postcard. Woo! My little circles. So I'm going to continue Mod Podging that after we hang up here. Thank you, everybody, for coming out again tonight. It is great to see you here. And for anybody that is watching on the YouTube channel, you can tune in every night, Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So we are here, and we are starting to put special guests in here and there as well. So it's always interesting to see what other people are working on. And now we have even more people that are kind of sharing their projects and their passions as well. So it's super cool. So we know you guys have a choice, and you guys probably have other things that you could be doing at this time, but we are super pleased that you chose to spend the time with us tonight while we craft and while we chat. So if anybody has questions or you have ideas for projects, feel free to DM Russ or myself. Otherwise, we will be back again tomorrow, Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. So thanks for joining, guys.
Yeah. And I just want to say good night, you princes and princesses of crafts, you kings and queens of what is good in the world.
Awesome.
Good night.
Keep it real, guys. Craft on. Thanks.